Hello everyone! Today we're going to discuss the book Project Hail Mary, which I recently read and I really want to talk about it. This video is going to have a non-spoiler part and a spoiler part, so you can avoid spoilers if you want to. So let's go! So Project Hail Mary is written by the same author as The Martian, Andy Weir, if I pronounce him correctly, and it has the same kind of humor and pacing. So if you like The Martian, you'll probably like this, but I think this book has some extra flavor to it, some extra element which makes it more fun for me. Like, I like this a lot. So let me tell you why I read this first. So the trailer of the movie adaptation of this book came out recently, and when I saw the trailer I was super inspired to read it. I have bought the book like 1 or 2 years ago, but it was standing on my TBR list and I was like, okay, one day I'm going to read it. But after the trailer I was like, oh no, I want to know what's going to happen. That is because in the trailer there is a tiny spoiler. We're going to discuss that later, but that tiny spoiler made me read the book, and I'm super happy that I did it, because this book is very easy to read. Like, I mean, it's full of science, obviously, it's science fiction, and there is a lot of science stuff, there's a lot of physics and chemistry and stuff, but because the narrator, like the main character, is very fun to read, very easy to read, so the science is very, I think, approachable. So even if you're not like a big fan of sci-fi, I think you can enjoy this because it's really written in a way that makes it easy to read. The science is explained quite well, and even if you don't understand everything in super detail, you're still able to follow the plot, to understand what's going on. So it's a really enjoyable book. So now I'm going to tell you a few non-spoiler details about the book, like why I liked it, what I liked about it. Then we're going to talk about the movie trailer and that little spoiler that made me read it. And then in the third part of the video, we're going to go full spoilers and discuss this book, okay? So the book is told in first-person POV, and we follow the main character, Grace, who wakes up on a spaceship and he has no memory of who he is and why he's there. So you have this double narrative, like the current events, like he on the ship trying to survive, and then you get glimpses of his past and you start to understand why he's there, what he's doing, and so on and so on. Yeah, basically this is survival in space, much like the Martian, but the Martian was on Mars, right? And here the main character is on a spaceship far from Earth and he's trying to survive, and he has additional mission he has to do, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I mean, gradually he figures out why he's there and what he has to do, and he encounters a lot of problems, but everything is kind of lighthearted and fun because he has this kind of dry humor and he's always constantly deciding to do something. It's not some kind of depressive, self-reflective, heavy book. No, it's very fun to read. So yeah, if you have seen The Martian or read the book, I think you know what kind of tone and vibe I'm talking about. But if you haven't, I'm just trying to explain what you can expect. This is like, I think it's considered hard science fiction because it has a lot of science, but again, it's approachable. And here the story is mainly plot driven. Like, you do have some character development. The main character does have an arc, so to say, but it's not like deeply reflective, or it's not some kind of a deep reflection on society or the future of the universe or something like that. No, so don't expect any kind of deep themes. And yet the book has surprisingly a lot of heart, a lot of emotional stakes, and it's really, really fun. So I really recommend it. If you like sci-fi and if you like space adventures, you should definitely check it out, especially maybe before the movie comes out. So when the movie comes out, you will be even more excited, like I am. I'm super looking forward to the movie. Now I will tell you a bit about the trailer and about the tiny spoiler that is in the trailer, the thing that made me read the book. So in the trailer, spoiler warning, they reveal that he meets an alien. So when he goes to this different system, let's say, he encounters an alien. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I want to read it. Now I had this extra interest to read it. So I understand why they revealed this, because when you say, oh, this is a survival in space, it sounds very generic. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of books like that. But when you know that there is an alien and there's going to be a first contact and you're super curious who is that alien and what's going to be the relationship between the two, characters, and that is kind of like a really big selling point. But of course, if you know that before, you don't get the surprise. I guess that when you don't know that there is an alien and you read it, you're like, wow, but I knew it, I was spoiled. But still, for me, it was kind of super interesting, even if I was spoiled, to see how he's going to find this alien, who he is, and so on and so on. So I don't think the spoiler really ruined the book so much for me. It just made me more eager to read it. And so yeah, that's the tiny spoiler. That's like the big selling point. And I think the heart of the story is really the relationship between Grace and Rocky, the alien, and how they work together and how they solve problems. This was the most fun. And I think this made this book a little bit more interesting to me than The Martian. And it just gave it more heart and more humor, and it was just more entertaining in this way. So now I really, really want to go into spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, click away, come back later. Don't watch the spoilers, okay? Unless you really want to, then of course I cannot stop you. As I said, my favorite part was Rocky and Grace's relationship. I think it was super fun the way they communicated. Of course, the way he learned his language. I mean, how to say it? When you read this science fiction, you have to kind of suspend your disbelief. You shouldn't be like too critical. At least I'm trying not to be too overthinking. Like, is this really possible? Oh, how this? I'm trying not to do that. Because sometimes things are just working out in favor of our characters quite conveniently, but otherwise we won't have a story. For me, it's very important to be entertained when I read a book, you know? And by entertained, I don't mean to laugh all the time, but just to feel something, to be excited or scared or even crying or laughing, just to feel emotions. And if I feel connected to the characters and if I feel invested in the story, I can forgive everything and believe everything, honestly. Like, well, maybe not everything, but, you know, I'm more open to suspend my disbelief. And in this book, I was really invested and very interested, and I liked how they solved problems together and how they found solution. It was really interesting. Like I read it very fast. I actually wanted to read it faster, but I was traveling and I took the ebook with me to read it in English just because I wanted to know what's going to happen next. And then the ending was really touching, because the moment that his ship was infected and when he realized that his containers were leaking, I was immediately thinking about Rocky, and I was like, no, his ship is made of this thing. You have to go to save Rocky. And when he realized it, I was so nervous, but of course I was sure he's gonna save Rocky. It kind of made the book more special to me because it wasn't just survival in space, which is of course interesting on its own, but it gave Grace an arc. It gave him a good character arc. It gave him a moment to choose to do the good thing, to help his friend, because he didn't want to go to this mission. He didn't want to sacrifice himself. He was forced into it, which was also an interesting twist. And now he had the chance to actually choose to sacrifice his chance to go back to Earth to save his friend. And that was a really cool moment, and I really liked it. Also, I liked the way Rocky was speaking and the way their banter and all these things were great. And also I enjoy all the survival stuff, like how they were making experiments, and like, I don't know, I just love science fiction. I guess I'm in my sci-fi era, because after this, like, I want to read more sci-fi. I've started to read Murderbot because there's a TV series about it, which I want to see, but I want to read the book first. But yeah, this was really fun to me, and I'm looking forward to the movie because it seems that the movie seems pretty good, right? Like, the visuals look great, everything looks great. Ryan Gosling seems to fit the role quite well. So I see there are some changes in the trailer compared to the book, but yeah, that's expected, that's normal. I don't mind that, as long as the movie as a whole is good. And there's so many things I want to see, like, visually. So yeah, I think that's my most anticipated movie for next year, and I really didn't expect to enjoy this book so much. I bought it because people were giving good reviews, but I didn't think it's gonna be so much fun. So I have seen The Martian, the movie, but I have not read the book, so maybe I will read it in the future, we'll see. But I was just so excited about this book because it was kind of like a surprising find to me. So I wanted to talk to you about it a little bit and just recommend you to read it if you haven't. And then hopefully we're going to have a great movie about it. Fingers crossed. So that's it for this video. It was just a short video for me to express my excitement. Have you read Project Hail Mary? Are you planning to read it? Or are you planning to watch the movie? Do you like this kind of survival in space? What is your favorite sci-fi book? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.